Fehrplay and welcome to my studio here in Oslo, Norway. Today I'm going to show you how I built the breakdown for my new track Malnati, which is out on Anjunabeats right now. So let's jump right in. Yes, so to make the breakdown I opened up an individual project just for the breakdown. I do this quite a lot actually, reason being that I like to add loads of small bits, say synthesizers or samples with effects that essentially are way too hard on the CPU on my computer. And in the regular project it would slow my computer down enough for it to crash or stall. So I do it in a different project a lot of times, and when I'm happy with how it sounds, I'll just bounce it down and import it to the main project. So in this case, I actually had to have it in a different project for the breakdown because I'm manipulating the master tempo, as you can hear in the finished track. It excels in tempo from the start of the breakdown. Now I'm sure I could just do that in the main project, but I wanted to be able to just do it for a certain part and have the regular tempo control on the other elements in the main project at the same time, like the effects, the chords, and the main lead synth. So I've always been intrigued by something called the shepherd's tone, which sounds like this. And it looks like this. Basically, it's a psychoacoustic effect, also called an audio illusion, that tricks our mind into believing that a tone is rising continuously or forever. What's really happening is that there are multiple sine waves that are in superposition, meaning they are perfectly layered over each other but separated by octaves. And by ascending in pitch, it sounds like it's always rising. So what I did in Malnati was I used the same principle as the shepherd's tone, but with notes rather than a sine wave that's being continuously pitched upwards. So as you can see, I start with one tone all the way down here on a C minor, and it goes all the way up to a C minor 6 octaves higher. So basically it rises for 6 octaves. So as the last tone here hits, it immediately starts on back down on the C minor on C0. So if I were to play just one of the tracks up here, it would sound like that. So what I did to get the similar effect as the shepherd's tone is, as soon as the first synth has gone 1 octave, I play a new tone in the same note, only an octave lower, as you can see here. So if it's like overlaying the previous sound but 1 octave lower, and then when synth number 2 hits that same octave as the last one, as the last synth, I put in a new one, and so on and so on. And in this case I'm using the Korg Monopoly, very nice synth. As you can see, I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 synths doing that. So as you can see, that the last one is the one that starts the latest. So where a sine wave in the shepherd's tone would pitch upwards, it would go through all the notes in a scale, but I wanted the notes to just hit the notes in the key of the track. And I did this by playing the piano over the track to see what notes fitted, because I just wanted to have as many notes being played in one scale or 1 octave as possible. So the big task, or what was very time consuming, was to get the notes to hit on the right note at the same time. But as soon as I kind of got that figured out on how to do that, it was quite easy. And the next part was to speed up the track. I wanted all the notes to come in, as you can see on the last synth here, before I started manipulating the tempo, or the speed of the tempo. So the starting tempo is set as at half the speed of what the original track is, which is 126 beats per minute. It's pretty standard. So that means I had to set the start tempo on this project to 63 I wanted the breakdown synths to come in over the beat in the main project, so I had to play like this for a while, so it would be easier for me to work it in over the beat in the main project, if that makes sense. So there's about 20 seconds here of it just being 63 beats per minute. So that sounds like this. As you can see, the last synth hasn't even come into play yet. So this is what it sounds like when it rises. And it goes all the way up to 990 beats per minute. That's the maximum that Logic allows you to go, as far as I know. So I let the rest run for about 20 seconds in the mix, so that I had a kind of tail to work with in the main project to have effects on and have it to kind of slowly fade out. But I also wanted it to kind of slow down again before it hit the kind of main kind of satisfying chord in the track. So let me open the main project and I'll show you what I did there. This is the main project, and as you can see, I have the breakdown melody right here. Sounds like this. So it sounds a little bit different now. It sounds a little bit better, clearer, and I basically just added some stuff to clean it up. It was kind of cluttered when all the tones come together and it goes really fast. It just gets really muddy. So I used a few things to just level it out a little bit. So to get the effect that it slows down again, I used Silent and made a very standard sawtooth wave chord where I manipulate the open and close filter of it, so I can make it kind of slow down with the filter basically, and it sounds like this. Yeah, as you can see, my CPU is already way too high. Anyway, so together with the breakdown, it doesn't sound exactly the same as the melody that I made in the other project, but it kind of gives it a similar feel. And I kind of like that it's not exactly the same. It's like the synth transcends into something else in a sense. And it stops when the nice chord comes in. I really like this chord. Kind of just really builds the tension, and then it has this really nice major chord to just bring it in again. Yeah, that's about it. Other than that, I have a few effects that I added to fade out the main part, and they are one of them is from Crystallizer from Sound Toys, that gives it this kind of popcorny sound, which is really nice, and some reverb, and that's about it. Yeah, that's the breakdown for Malnati. Thanks for watching, and have fun making music. Catch you on the flip side.